Where's the button? Who's the button? Button, button, button. All right, kids.
Good morning.
Morning. I have for folks who are at home who can't see, I love Scrabble. So I had a dog named Scrabble, and I have a mug. That's a chip piece. J
Oh,
J A.
very clever.
On the back, it tells you the different distribution of the tiles. Isn't that funny?
Oh, very cool. That's really
Yes.
cool.
But I'm James for J.
Yes, you are. James, I have to tell you, I watched the video of you and your mom's dog in
Lucy,
the
little
rain.
baby, Lucy. Yes, Lucy Liu.
She wouldn't go out in the rain. She would not come out
Yes,
of the covered patio area. And
yes,
we were, Les and I were laughing so hard because all dogs, all
oh,
dog owners seem to have the same experience. The dogs hate to go out in the rain. Ours
yes.
does too. We were cracking up. She was so precious.
Really. So, that video went viral. So I wish I knew it would. I guess everybody can relate to that. Just she was like, no, bitch, I ain't going out there.
Yeah, yeah, no.
No. And she started walking towards something, and they said it was my commentary. People were like, "You call a girlfriend, like a girlfriend." And she's like, as you always laugh, they were laughing at my commentary too. So I touch like a real person. I always talk like a real person. But Lucy and I are famous on TikTok. What we do is I take her for walks, and then usually has a different outfit on. And the way
Yeah.
she just trots down the street and she like sniffs things and looks and stuff. I just talk to her. I go, girl, what's going on? What are you looking at? What do you see over there? And people think it's hilarious. So there was like a month or so I didn't do it. They're like, where's Lucy? Is she okay? I'm like, oh, she's fine. She's fine. So that video, I said, well, it's raining outside, so I couldn't really walk because she was not, you could see she was not going to walk. So I thought,
Mm,
I'll tape this and then I'll put it up and it went viral. So I was very happy.
yeah.
That's my
Well, it
girl.
was really cute. So,
Lucy is because she is our first girl dog in the family after
oh,
boys. And folks, we rescue. We do not breed. Sorry, we just don't. We rescue. Our last three dogs were rescue dogs. I had Scrabble, a little Chihuahua. He was a man. Then we had Jerry, which was like a big giant bread loaf. Then he died, and then so it was like before my stepfather got sick, they were like, "We need another dog." We just used to having a dog around, and they went to all these shelters. And see, Lucy is a black mix. She's like a Chihuahua
mhm.
or something, but she has black eyes. She has like black eyes, dark skin. So we lose her all the time in the house. She's so dark. She'll be in a corner like, where's Lucy? Because you blink and her eyes are still dark. You're like, where's Lucy? Where'd Lucy go? And she'll trot out like, hi, where are you? But she has the cutest face. I just love her face. So when I go over there, she likes to sit up next to me like a person. So I have her on her haunches. We just sit on her,
Oh,
just look at each other. Mother goes, oh my God, this is too much. But I love her. I love Lucy. So
no, it's not. I love
I
it.
thought, yeah, I do too. I love her too. Well, see, Lucy acts, see, dogs, I try to tell them, I am the alpha, not you. You will not just do whatever the F you want. So my mom and brother and them have problems with her because she has them wrapped around her finger. Not when brother Jamie comes over. She knows how to behave. I've trained her because dogs do like it's been known they like to be trained. They actually like routine.
They like structure.
They
They
like
do.
structure. They actually do. Actually, I so years ago when I had Scrabble, I actually read a book on Chihuahuas. I had this whole book on Chihuahuas, and here's a true Chihuahua. How they like to protect their people. They're much
They
bigger than they
do.
are. They do.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but I read about
I've
dogs.
been nipped on the ankles before by a
Oh yeah.
chihuahua who was very upset I went into the wrong room.
See, exactly because they're protecting. But they gave great dog advice in general too, and it was just like you have to just show them certain things, and they'll follow. Usually, they'll follow along. Unlike cats do whatever they want. Dogs are much more
Right.
amenable. They actually are much more amenable. They will kind of acquiesce to certain things if you let them. But they feed off your energy, which I totally
Oh,
believe.
absolutely.
I
Yes.
totally believe that. And I think Lucy and I bonded last year, that stretch when my stepdad got sick and then he died, and then my mother got sick and almost died, and I was at the house 5 days a week. I didn't bring her here. I stayed over there, and I was like, and then my mother came home and had to rehabilitation. I was still over there 5 days a week, dressing her and all stuff. And I think Lucy got used to me because I was doing the primary work for her when we go to
Sure.
walk, when we go, whenever we eat, the whole thing. And I was like, she won't eat the food. I go, like you do little kids, sit there until you're ready to eat it. And then she goes and eats it at some point. You know, some of gets that special food that's in the refrigerator. I'm like, where am I? So James, go to the refrigerator for dog food. But yes, it's special food for older dogs or whatever. I think it's called Fresh Pet or something. I think it's called Fresh Pet.
But we do love our animals. They are family.
Oh, Scrabble died. I was devastated. I held Scrabble in my arms for like 10 hours afterwards. I was devastated. Devastated. It's funny because we know they're not going to last as long as we are. We already go into it knowing that,
right?
But we still go into it. Like it's like different than having kids. It's like kids usually, if things go correctly, you'll go before they do. But with animals, we know they have a lifespan. I mean, we still get them.
We do, because I think that having that relationship is so important to us that we just accept the death. You know, like that it's going to be a terrible time and it's so hard. But I would much rather have my animals with me for the time that they're with me as opposed to not have any at all. Yeah. So that's how I look at it. And the bigger the dog, the shorter the lifespan.
Yeah.
So for people who get super, super attached, get a smaller dog or a cat, because cats live 15, 17 years, you know, but yeah.
Yeah. Scrabble was 15. So that was good.
Yeah.
I had the full 15 years from baby. Jerry only had for a couple of years, but he was like 14. Mm-hmm. So they do that, and so Lucy's like 12. So we may have it for a little longer. We only had a couple of years, but I remember I had an ex-boyfriend, his cat. Mark Anthony, his cat was 21.
Yeah. Some live, yeah.
Yeah, that's 21. I was like
a long life.
And he went off to die.
Oh, really?
I've heard of that before, where with cats, they don't want to be a burden, so they go off somewhere. And Deuce was one of those. I mean, I was with Mark Anthony for like 3 years, I think, but he had Deuce from long time ago. Traveled to Europe with him. So, lived in France with them for years. Brought him back home to the Bay Area, everything. And I remember just one day I was like, "Where's Deuce?" And the back door was open, and I'm like, I think he's gone. And then we walked the streets, and it was a neighborhood. So we were in North Berkeley, the Ashby area. It was really cute over there, by the BART station. And we were walking over there, and we found him, and he was just like in a little corner, like all balled up, just like, and that was it. And we scooped him up and everything, and and it was just kind of. I think I've heard of that, where the cat will go off somewhere to kind of go rest, so you don't have to worry about it. But we were looking for it. I said we had a feeling that's what happened, because the cat stopped eating a little bit of the color. There's signs that kind of go okay, yeah. But he still wanted to look to see if we could find him, and we did actually found him. It was kind of sad. It was like, but 21 years,
a long life.
Jesus, we had a cat bloodline that lasted about 21 years, because there was the original cats my mother and grandmother had in the late 60s. They kept begatting cats. And the last set, I want to say, was in the 90s. I left home. We had them in the 80s. Each generation kept going. And then in the 90s, I think the last of the last, they died out. I had a cat named Spider Legs. And Spider Legs, the last cat.
Spider Legs?
Spider Legs.
Was it tall?
Yes, it had skinny legs. I don't know. But when I went to KeyWest, if you go to KeyWest, folks, this is for you. Have you ever been to KeyWest?
No, never.
If you ever go to KeyWest, it's Palm Springs, but tropical. Go to KeyWest. Okay. There's the Hemingway house, Ernest Hemingway. The cats there are descendants from his cats when he was alive.
Wow.
They're taken care of. They stay on the estate, and we get to see them. And they're like, these cats are actually descendants from his cats. He loved cats. He had cats and banana trees. Those are two things he had on his property. Very cool house. So
interesting
house. I know, interesting fact. I know some dumb facts, but it's a very cool place. I love Key West. That's my place. It's because it's it's Palm Springs, but just tropical. It's all old folks or gay folks, and some tourists mixed in, but like cute little bungalow house. You know how it is. We've been to Palm Springs together. All kinds of resorts and things. It's just I mean I love that kind of stuff. It's like to me it's not real, Melissa. I mean it's real, but it's not. I mean I know Palm Springs is a real place, but like to me it's a play place. Wait, I don't know how to call Palm Springs, but that's how I feel about it. It's like I know it's a real I know it's a real place, like real, but it's not.
Okay.
We're just laughing at me.
So
For those you can't see,
I am like,
we've been to Palm Springs together, so we know Palm Springs.
yes, it is a play place. But people do live there.
Yes, they do. They do.
And did you, fun fact, I'm trying to remember the source. It was just yesterday, but folks, I've had allergies, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to be too hard on myself. But Palm Springs has 2 of the top 10 romantic restaurants
Oh,
in, I don't know if it's the nation or just the state. And I thought, that's what I thought about. Oh, because I can see like San Francisco, I can see Santa Barbara was on the
Santa Barbara,
list. Los Angeles had a couple, and Palm Springs showed up. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. The desert.
It is a desert. I mean, it is, and that's what I say. Key West is like the tropical version of Palm Springs because Key West is the we call it the American Caribbean. It's like literally, it's at the bottom of the Keys. It's like right there, surrounded by water. But it's very much. I mean, literally, it's like the movie Cocoon when you got on the plane.
Yes.
It's like it's all old folks. When they say we're doing all the pre-boarding first, it's all pre-boarding, and then it was just like me. Okay, I'm ready to go on. Everybody, thank you. Good night. I'll be here all week. I actually have a microphone. I'll be here all week. But that's how Palm Springs. I mean, I swear to God, Melissa, Phillipp Heim. I swear to God, Nick and I, our friend, our ex-friend Nick.
Oh yes.
We were waiting for a Southwest flight to do one of the conferences, of course, to go from San Francisco to Palm Springs. I swear to God. Because on Southwest, folks, you have to get the A ticket and B ticket. We had A tickets. We had did the day before. I was like A7. He was like A8. But they do pre.
Wow.
They did pre. No, we were Melissa. Nick was like on there, and we were on there. We were on it. So we were like A7. We were ready. It didn't matter because literally it said pre-boarding first. Folks, you can see my face.
It's so funny
for you guys who are listening, I'm giving you a face. Because we stood there, and I'm not even. I wish we had camera phones back then. I'm not even essing you. I'm not gonna try not to cuss.
Yeah,
essing you. That literally it was like the whole plane was old folks, and then it was like me, Nick, and 2 other people. So that A7, A8 didn't do.
Right. It didn't mean anything on that flight.
No, we're still in the back of the plane. Like, it doesn't matter. And when I had to laugh because I thought it was so. I remember calling my mother to tell the whole story. We were laughing. I think it was like Cocoon. There were all these old people. They're all going to Palm Springs. People with wheelchair assistants. It literally, when they said pre-boarding, I didn't think I just stood there like, what is going on here? Like it was crazy. And then we got to Palm Springs and we got our rental car and that was it. And one of our many times at Palm Springs. I know we did something at Indio Canyon, Indian Springs. We did something in Palm Springs. We did several conferences. They started becoming a blur after a while, as you know. That made me laugh. It just made me laugh. I was like, it was really literally us A7, A8 didn't. Well, could have been C5.
You can't get. By the way, you cannot get an A boarding pass anymore.
You can't
because I'm on my Southwest app waiting to check in, and I click immediately as soon as I can, and it's always B20, B30, and it's like, well, we're A1 through 60. How are all of these people getting there? If I'm like there right now, they must buy up because you can buy for extra money.
Yeah.
So I think that they reserve all the A's for people who buy up, and so we can't get in the A class anymore. Unless your plane's not full. I've had that where the plane isn't full and I got like A59. So it just, yeah,
That's crazy.
but they're smart. They're just like, hey, buy up, spend an extra 15, 20, $30, whatever it is, and
Yeah.
get in your eighth group. I'm like, no.
That is crazy. 'Cause I remember, I haven't flown like that in a while. But I remember the ones where, you go there for, that's how you get the boarding. You get the A boarding, B boarding, C boarding, or it was like, I think United had something similar, or American had something similar, I think it was, and all that. So, I mean, it's been a while since I've flown any of those. So, I haven't flown Southwest in a long time.
Right.
The Airbus kids, like
Yes.
Southwest. The last Southwest flight I was on, part of the ceiling was coming off next to me in my seat. So I
Oh
was like,
God.
it might be time for me to fly a different airline.
Oh Lord.
I brought to
Well,
attention as condensation was coming down, and literally was like,
that's terrible.
oh no, it's horrible. It was
Did you white knuckle it all the way?
of course, I hate flying anyway. I hate flying anyway. And then I'm like, oh my God, this thing rips open in the middle of the air. I'm fucking dead. I mean, I'm blah, blah, dead. I wouldn't slip you guys, sorry. That's how I felt at the time. I was that anxious
Yes. I get it. I
at the
would be
time.
freaked out too.
It was weird. Well, I told you the time that I was on a plane with with Nick, which I come home for a conference, we get on, and then my seat actually literally had no seat. They'd say that, way.
No seat.
When you fly a lot, folks, you encounter a lot of stuff, but literally, I mean, the plane was full. Listen, I laughed because it was full, and it was the last flight out
Oh
to San
gosh.
Francisco. So, and me and Nick, like, we have to get back to go to work. This is what's house insurance skills there. And we get to the plane. He sits there, and then it was like, I looked down, and literally there was no cushion. It was a place where a seat should have been.
So what did you do?
Well, first I was in shock. Then we called a flight attendant, and we're like, "Hi." I just pointed down. He's like, "Oh yeah, let's find another seat." I'm standing next to Nick. They're looking around, and I'm like, "Oh, we're sold out." I go, "Well, I won't say what I said, but I said something to the fact of, what in the am I supposed to do then? Because we have to work tomorrow morning. This is, and we're talking 20 years ago. This is pre FaceTime. This is pre Skype. This is pre Microsoft Teams, or like whatever this stuff was. It's pre. I'm like, this is my mom's going to cuss all of a sudden. It's pre all that. It's pre like camera phone. Like, there's a lot of things that just didn't have yet at the time, and technology at the
Right.
time. So it's like I would have to. We were going to have a meeting in San Francisco about something, and I needed to, like, I really need to be there or whatever. So I go, well, can I sit in the jump seat? They actually, it
Yeah.
wasn't a lot of, it wasn't a lot of, and it was only like an hour flight. And I think we're coming from Vegas, I think, or maybe it was from, I can't remember, we're coming from somewhere, but it was like an hour flight to San Francisco. So it was not that long. But I know they have a policy that no passengers can sit in the jump seat. That's just their policy. I kind of get, well, I mean, I get it. I get it. I get it. But like, shouldn't they have changed the plane or something? Because there's no seat there. So I had to stay behind. I couldn't fly. I wasn't gonna fly. I couldn't sit nowhere. And Nick, oh, he was so pissed. Not at me, obviously. He was so pissed. And my boss was there. Everybody was pissed. But I'm like, there was no seat. Like, I can't even. There was no seat. And Nick's like, no, James. Like, oh, James is like lying. There was no. It was a shell of a seat and then nothing there.
It's crazy.
So I had to. They paid for my hotel right there, right near Las Vegas at the airport, and they paid for my transportation. They gave me a food voucher. I'll give them points. They did what they could for me. I had to first fly out in the morning, but the first
Right.
flight was was already sold out. So I think that, so I couldn't, so I didn't make the meeting after all, but I got there after that. It was, they tried to push the meeting, and they couldn't push it. Right, well, James is flying right now. He can't. I mean, I literally can't be there. I mean, now you can do stuff now. It's just kind of crazy. I mean, that you're in tune. So that's funny how far we've come. Like, that's now we can do
It
stuff.
is.
But I couldn't at that. But it was like literally everyone's getting mad. I go, there's literally no seat. I can't even pretend. I mean, like I said, jump seat. I remember saying, I'm a former nurse. I can totally take care of myself. Like when I sit in the jump seat, but I get the liability. I don't work for
Yeah.
I don't work for the company. And I was like, can I have a drink? We back there just grabbing the drinks, going back there, the cart. They wouldn't let me do it. But that's the one that I literally had no seat. I'll never forget that for the rest of my
I
life. I
have
had a
never
witness.
heard that. I have never heard that before.
You
How
fly.
many friends fly and family members I have never ever heard. I get there and my seat is missing.
And listen, the thing is, when you walk, because we were walking in, you're busy. I had to carry on because we decided to check in luggage. So it's kind of like trying to find a place for luggage, and I found a spot for my luggage. So I tried to get my luggage and leave. But I mean, everybody's like staring at me as I'm leaving the plane. But I mean, I literally was like, you're kind of focused on other stuff. You're like kind of looking for, you're like, well, where can I, where can I sit? And so then Nick does his little seat, and we're just like, he didn't see it when he came in. He just kind of slid in, sat down. That's when I was like, and it's one of those things where you're like, am I imagining? Am I still asleep? Am I imagining this? Like I see it right there. There's no seat. But like you said, I've
Yeah.
never seen my entire life on a plane where there's not like I've seen
No.
many things on planes. I've never seen no seat. They never told me what happened. I never found out what happened. Like, why was there no seat? There's anything. And they took off with that no seat, and James was stuck in Vegas for a night. I had to go party for
Oh.
a little bit. And then that aside, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not a terrible thing to be stuck in Vegas.
They don't know now. They don't know. They can tell them now. Yes, I partied that night. They went to the party. Well, actually gambling. But no, it was really weird. But it's like you see it, you're going, I know I'm seeing that. Am I seeing that? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how it was. But that was my. But I've flown so. I mean, Nick and I were flying every other week at one point. That I saw. I've been through so many things on planes and flights that it's astronomical. That I'm still alive. And so, I mean, oh my God, there's some of the stuff you're like, what? And Palm Springs, folks. Let me just give you a little thing there. Flying into Palm Springs ain't it's not great either because it's a short runway. It's
Oh
like,
yeah.
yeah. So we're making our descent, and there down. Okay, got it.
Oh,
My
yeah.
my stomach's still up there. It's still up in the sky. But thank you.
Yeah.
I needed my stomach's now. I can now not eat anything. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I've been to the airport. It's not much of an airport.
No, it really is that funny. It really isn't. It's just like, as I said, Palm Springs is for pretend. It's a pretend. It's not real. I love Palm Springs. I do. I like going down
It's
there.
fun. I know when it's not, 120 degrees.
Which every time I've been there with you, it's been 120 degrees.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, hot, kids, hot.
Hot.
I'm like,
On the golf course. And you're like, you've got all these dinner events and after parties and and you're like, oh my God, I don't know. I don't think I'm leaving my room.
where it's like
I'm
100
so
degrees,
exhausted.
where it's 100 degrees at midnight. Remember those? Like it's 100 degrees at midnight.
Yeah.
The sun goes
But that
down.
was fun though.
It was fun.
But at that hour, it's fun because you're running around in shorts and t-shirts and everyone's having a great time. And 100 degrees at that temperature, it's like a relief as opposed to being 120 degrees at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But those are fun times.
We said we'll never tell people. We always said our whole group was like, can't tell. But yes, there's a group on Facebook. We're all like, remember, we keep it betwixt us. Like, I know. Trust me. There, you guys. Yeah, I did a lot of things back then. There was a lot of fun. And I laugh because I said this once before a long time ago. Napa, Vegas, Palm Springs. I am even in Monterey. I am shocked and proud of myself at the same time because I had to show up. We always tell that story how I hyped you up.
Yeah.
I had to show up the next morning, ready to go, with a smile on my face.
So let me ask you, was there a time when you just didn't sleep?
Oh yeah, yes. Oh my God.
Just showered and to the check-in desk?
Yes. Oh, several times. Oh my God. But again, I remember. Oh my God, this is like I can't just make details, but I just know that yes, there were. So, but one thing was, we would get to the location, and we would work very hard because there was a lot of pre-setup. So we would get all that done.
Yes.
The thing was, once the conference started, there wasn't much work to be done while the classes are going on. Yeah, there's little things in here and there. And like you said, some people would host parties and things, and there's sweets and they're after, I mean, all kind of stuff afterwards. That was the problem. I remember eating quarters with people and in some rooms. Anyway, that was the problem. So then you were just like, and I'm like, yeah, some of you guys can, I mean, but I'll give points too, because many of you guys would show up the next morning too with shades on, but you would show up from classes. Luckily, we had some dynamic teachers. We always had some good speakers. Always. That's one thing we like, because Lord knows you needed it. But I just remember there was one time, I want to say it was actually, I know Vegas, I didn't sleep one time. We were at the Rio that one time. I know there was one night, Nick and I had a good time on our own, one of those nights, and partook in some of the local activities that Las Vegas offered. We did. And I remember getting to and we shared a hotel room. And I remember getting to the hotel room, it's like, James, okay, I just gotta lay down for like 5 minutes. I go, no, you can't. Like, you can't. I go, we have to be down like in an hour. He goes, but 5 minutes. And no, because if you close your eyes, you're gonna feel worse. I said, let's just get through it. No, we did. So okay, I'm actually I'm gonna admit something. It's years later. No one cares now. No, listen. So what we would do is so we get the classes started, because we said we're assigned to. Sometimes we'll have like 2 or 3 tracks going at the same time. Nick would do one area, I do the others. Get them going, make sure the food was out, do all that stuff, do all that. Then while they were going, okay, Nick, go upstairs, take an hour nap. That's what we would do sometimes. Okay, James, now it's your turn. Go take an hour nap. And so that's what we would do sometimes to counter that. And I'm telling you, folks, just a short nap. Don't take too long. It makes it even worse. So, but I knew if we went to sleep before we went downstairs, it was over.
Yeah.
It was over. I mean, it'd be over. I mean, you won't hear the alarm, nothing. You won't hear nothing. And then we screwed. So we had to do our job. We were getting paid to do our job. So we did our job. But there were a couple times, I was like hating life. Oh my God. Hating life. But with a smiley face and hi, and welcome to the conference. Blah, 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 blah,
yes.
She could attest. I was always good. I was always, we were ready. But I was telling you, there were times, oh my God, the morning after. The morning after.
The morning after. For some of us, it was the afternoon after.
But see, it was so funny is about there's one particular conference, I won't say, that was the one that was legendary. But the year I came was the year after that was like the real cops were called. I forgot which conference it was. The first one I came on was Monterey.
Me as well. First you and I came in the same time.
Okay. So there was one before us. Apparently, they're like, the James. I remember Jeff Lang and them telling me like, oh yeah, there was cops called at one point. Like, it was a whole thing. I like repeat everything that was that, but it was a big. So I was like kind of like a little nervous, like, oh my God, what's going on? Like, and I was going, insurance people? Like insurance? I kept saying, oh right, insurance? Like, no, James, it's like so much fun. Like, what? Insurance? Now I know.
Now you know.
Now I know. Insurance. But also, so our first was the same. Yeah, first was Monterey. No, it was pretty good. But it was later ones that even were a little more, like Palm Springs especially. That was some stuff. But that was fun. That was a lot of fun. But we used to fly everywhere. The whole point was we used to fly everywhere. So, and then we put on our own conferences all over the country, the AgriBelt conferences, and some of those got wild too. And we did that too. Yeah. But here's the thing, folks. We still always did our job. We still always handled everything. And we had to work really hard. And, and for Nick and I, and for Jill Turner, and for anybody who helped us out in the committees and everything, we did a lot of work pre. And then for like me and Nick, I remember I handled all the CE. And so after the conference, for folks that's team education, I had work to do for like a month after that. And so I was like filing, and I was approved to file in, I'm pretty proud of myself, I would say about 30 states. I was doing fine. I knew all the Secretary of States, and they all knew who I was. I get to know everybody. Each had different rules. I had to throw my charms on some of them sometimes to get some in. But it was like I handled all the CE. So I guess that's what we were at education center. So we did work hard. Like we did work, and our conferences were good. They were good.
Yes. They were good.
They're good.
They're really good.
They're really good. We had some good topics, good instructors.
Mhm.
I used to sit in some of them just like I've learned stuff. Just I was like, wow, I'm learning stuff from this stuff. But on the side though, we had fun at the same time.
On the side.
On the side,
Yes.
we had a good
On the
time.
side.
So we'll end it there, kids. Of course. Is this coffee conversation with James
Melissa.
and we are here usually on Mondays. We're here Mondays with our coffee. Well, you can see us and our conversations, which go anywhere. Again, just thank you for tuning in to us. Continue to comment because Melissa has now found out how to comment back.
Yes. Very excited. I can't wait to talk with everybody.
So somebody, so because well, have you seen? There's a new comment I think on one of them. I don't know what you've seen yet or whatever, but there's another commenter. But she's having a little issue with the getting on there and doing it, but she figured it out.
Well, yes, it was my virtual private network was blocking me. Yeah, so I had to turn it off in order to comment. And I did.
Oh, got it. Because this is YouTube. 'Cause that's your personal Google. That's your personal. It's not work.
Yes, but I have a lot of the web pages or sites, they won't operate when you have a virtual private network because they want to track you and know who you are. And I'm hidden with my VPN. They don't like that. So now I know, and now I can comment
So
without panicking and calling you.
I know. I was like, I think you have an account. I just had a problem. I was like, I just went on. As long as you have an account, you can do it. But that's good to know. I didn't know that. It's good. So if anybody tells me that again, I'll say, well, check your VPN if you have a VPN.
Yeah.
Like that, which happens in other countries. I have a lot of people in other countries who they do VPN for everything. So check it out. But we are on all audio streaming service platforms. You're on JLJ Media. Like I said last time, where it all begins. We'll talk to you next time.